Hello, my name is Cameron King. I'm one of the academic literacy interventionists at the intermediate school. Specifically, I work with fifth grade. I've been working with instructional coaches Sandra Wilt and Kelly Sumter on making sure that we have everyone up to date on how to give the Maze benchmark assessment. So this video is intended specifically for eighth grade. Out of a misunderstanding, I left you off the previous video that was you were supposed to be in for third through eighth grade, but I stopped at seventh because I had some wrong information. So I'm making this video for eighth grade. I will be using the maze specifically for fifth grade just as an example because I have it already pulled up, but I'll show you what to kind of look for. So whenever you're giving the maze, you have the student materials booklet that will be available, and you'll know it's the student materials because not only will it be labeled on the front, but it will have the three answer choices, and that will be different from the scoring key, which will be for the test administrators. You will have the examiner's script in that scoring key booklet, and it is very important that you familiarize yourself with that script. It seems very simple, but just make sure that the big things is that you go through the practice passage with the students and make sure that they understand how to mark with either most usually a circle, but it has to be a clear marking. You want to make sure that they understand to just mark one answer. We'll talk more about that in just a second. After you read through the examiner script, you want to make sure that you pay attention to the 3-minute time limit. Students will stop answering after that 3 minutes and put their pencil down. Not all students will make it to the end of that assessment. And the reason why is that we want to have fidelity in this assessment. We know clearly what a marked answer looks like, but those answers need to be clear in how they are marked. If you have a student that skips one of the boxes for answering, that is an incorrect answer. And it's also the same if they mark multiple answers. If it is not clear what their answer was, then it is an incorrect answer. For this question, they scribbled it out. That's still a correct answer because they clearly let you know that they changed their mind. So make sure that you explain that to students. After you give that assessment, we will want to use this formula to figure out the answer. You will take the number of incorrect answers. So let's say that a student stops at the end of the first page and they do not make it past that first page. On the right hand side, it shows us the number of correct answers. So we know that on this first page, we have a total of 18 possible points here. If my student stops here, I will not score anything past the last marking. So we want that last marked spot to be where we stop assessing at. From there, we take the number of incorrect answers, we divide it by 2, we subtract that number from the correct answers to get our maze score. That will maybe be a decimal. We do not want to round that decimal point. From there, you can find the benchmark goals. If I'm looking for fifth grade, which is the assessment that I had, this is beginning of the year, and I look right here, you will see a bold number. That is where students on average will be. We do not want them to be below that number. Above that number is exceeding, but below that number, we see that we have an issue there that we need to focus on. So we want to look for those bolded numbers on our benchmark goals. I'm going to pause the video, and then when I turn the video back on, what I will do is go through and read the correct answers for the eighth grade beginning of the year maze. And the reason why is because as we were assessing, we found that it was easier for us, instead of going back and forth and looking at the correct answers versus what the students put, it was easier if someone was reading them to us and we could mark them. So I'll pause this video, and when I come back on, I'll be reading the correct answers for eighth grade. Okay, here is the eighth grade beginning maze benchmark assessment. Can, backstrap, moved, usually, are, and, the, quickly, backstrap, requires, be, between, sticks, fabric, to, the, with, back, cloth, belt, control, subtle, threads, using, is, in, intricate, these, the, make, symbolic, and, in, learn, or, designs, but, they, will, each, woven, woman's, used, blouse, the, is, weaving, colors, makes, other, to, applied, to, and, this, small, that, other. If you have any questions, please reach out to your instructional coach for any extra help. Have a great day.